Hi, my name is Sherry, and this is Pictures in Time. Today I wanted to talk about contrast. Not a contrast of colors, or shades, or images, but a contrast of emotions. There's a great quote by Carl Jung. The greater the contrast, the greater the potential. Great energy only comes from a correspondingly great tension of opposites. But what does this mean? And more importantly, how does it relate to good filmmaking? Contrast is usually a technique that makes an emotion stand out.
Get out. Get the fuck out of here, man!
This is a great moment from Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing. The son in the scene can't help but have animosity towards people who are different from him. And when a mentally disabled person comes by,
Miley, get out of here. Get the fuck out of here, man!
he lashes out at him.
Ain't shit.
But what makes this moment so powerful is because of what we saw just a few minutes earlier.
I watch these little kids get old. And I seen the old people get older. Yeah, sure, some of them don't like us, but most of them do.
It's this contrast of a father trying to make his son understand why he has compassion for the people around him, and a son
A fucking job, man! Why don't you get a fucking job,
who
man?
lacks that compassion.
Fucking work.
That makes this moment stand out.
Get out, man! Get out! See what I'm saying?
So what does the opposite of this look like? I want to show you an example of what happens when a movie has almost no contrast.
It is not my interest to stir hostility with another.
This is an act of war.
I was watching this movie, The King, a 2019 film about Henry V, and I started to notice that any given scene had some miserable people,
But to ignore such an audacious act of aggression will
followed by some more miserable people,
And that you desist from this timorous slither in which you presently engage.
and then some moody music, and then more misery.
Fill this with gunstones and send it back to France.
The movie is definitely emotionally charged. It has a constant atmosphere of unhappiness running through it.
I want an end to this unrest.
But there's never anything that contrasts that unhappiness. And after you see the same people exhibit the same mood over and over again,
Visit with your father.
it stops feeling emotional,
Go away.
and it just starts to feel tedious. The movie doesn't really ever show anything else. There's no contrast, no joy, there's no sense of wonder. It makes you question how different this story would look if the movie included something other than misery. Lucky for us, a movie like that exists.
And hold down manhood's chief, while Denny speaks that fought with us upon St. Crispin's Day!
The great thing about something triumphant like this is that when that misery comes afterwards, you notice the difference between the two. This is 1989's Henry V. It's based on the same story and battle that The King is, and it's a movie that constantly contrasts Henry V's joy with the misery of his position. And it all works really well, so the emotion you feel throughout it doesn't end up repetitive.
Vous êtes mien.
The King has many of the same moments as Henry V, but the difference lies in how it executes them. Here, just like in Henry V, he delivers a big speech before the final battle.
All men are born to die, we know it. We carry it with us always.
And to be honest, at one point it does feel like it's going to be triumphant.
Make it England! Make it England!
But then it ends, and all we get is a smirk or two? What, no cheer or happiness or anything? I mean, it was a pretty good speech. The movie never allows its characters to show a full range of emotion. Even when the battle is over and they do cheer, the movie suppresses it with some solemn music, and that joy is never really felt. There are lots of movies being made today like The King that try to establish one mood throughout the story. But if you let that atmosphere take over, you can miss out on some really great moments. Some movies use two different scores to highlight two different emotions.
Granny! Thank you so much. I'll miss you.
Don't worry, you'll be all right, Sam.
Some use a change in expression from that of misery to that of Choi. And others use what we know about a character
I am a god, you dull creature.
against the reality of their situation. But all of these work, and it's because of an age-old truth. Emotions are to a degree relative and based on an individual's expectations. Something isn't just sad because it's sad because a person knows that there's something better. And if that happiness is distant from them, then it makes that sadness stand out even more. Interestingly, while researching for this video, I found that animated movies, and especially Pixar, use this technique a lot. In almost any of their movies, you can find a sequence with a character at their highest,
like it was meant to be,
and then at their lowest.
in my heart when she
And of course, there's this scene again. And I don't think it's a coincidence that a scene that so many people love is filled to the brim with a sort of contrast that makes an emotion stand out. So if you're going to show misery, show joy. If you're going to show bravery, show cowardice. And if you're going to show the finite, show the infinite too. I recognize that for some movies this concept of contrast might not fit for the story or the runtime, but the emotions it garners shouldn't be overlooked. In one of my favorite movies, 1957's Wild Strawberries, there's this perfectly executed feeling of loneliness surrounding the main character. And it's not because we always see him sad or miserable or because we don't see people around him. It's because we constantly see what he grew up with and what he now misses. That's power, and that's great filmmaking. Thanks for watching.